What's up, YouTube? This is Ricky Ransom, and today we have another Raid Shadow Legends video. And guys, we got a big event right now. It's a 2x event for Ancient Shards. But on top of that, we also have a 10x for Valkyrie. And Valkyrie is a champ that I have wanted for a long time. She is a legendary that I have not pulled yet. She has just a lot of use throughout the game. First of all, she's a defensive-based champion, which is always nice. And her damage is based on attack and defense, which isn't ideal, but it still scales all right in comparison to if it's like attack and HP, then it's kind of harder to get the proper amounts to really do the damage that you need. But she just is like a turn meter menace, basically. Get back to it. We're gonna start pulling our shards, and here, let's go and get into our chat, and we'll go to global. We got 3, 2, 5. Let's go Geo, caps lock, and Valk. Okay, we sent it out there. Wait, did that work? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's start pulling. Let's see what we get. We're gonna start out with the first 6, and then we'll hop into our temples. And here's the thing, I just really, okay, hey, right off the rip, we get an epic. Not bad. And Melga's actually not too bad either. She's super useful for faction wars. I'm actually building one out right now to try to help with my dwarves faction wars, just to finish it off, because I think I'm in the last stage. But she has this awesome ability, revives 2 random allies with 20% HP and 20% team turn meter. Also places a shield buff on the revived allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP. So it's an interesting revive, but it's super nice. There's not a lot of great support type champions in dwarves, especially revivers in particular. So she just helps out with a lot of that. She also does a shield buff and a continuous heal on her A2. So yeah, she's a nice champion. But that's not the one we're looking for. But getting an epic off the bat is a good sign. We got a Galek. Good food champ. That's the other thing that's nice about pulling ancients, is that you get a lot of food champs too, so that's always a bonus as well. Another one. Oh, that's my third Ugo, 3rd or 4th. So I don't know if I need to build her out, but I might. I haven't even built out my second one yet, but Ugo's so nice for Hydra that it would probably be smart to build another one out. Wait. Oh, Cleopatrix. No. So this, like, I don't know a ton about Cleopatrix, but my skinwalkers are one of the worst that I have for like champions and for faction wars. So either way, she'll be a bonus. She'll be useful. I think this is here. Let's see. Okay, so first one, attacks one enemy. There's a 30% chance of placing a weaken for 2 turns. Chance increases to 50% if there's a hex buff. Places perfect veil on this champion for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy under a hex debuff. Okay, interesting. So hex is obviously important for her, but weaken is that's good for an A1. It's only a single attack. You know, it's all right. It's not insane. Places a 30% increase crit rate buff and 30% increase crit damage buff on this champion for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies and has a 75% chance of placing a blocked active skills debuff for 2 turns on targets under hex debuffs. Okay, so we're gonna have to get a hexer for her to really be useful. It seems like her A3. Okay, so it has 100% chance. Okay, so A3 is where we're gonna get the hexes. Places a 15% increase accuracy buff on this champion for 2 turns and attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of placing a hex debuff for 3 turns. Has a 100% chance of placing a fear debuff for 1 turn instead on enemies under hex debuffs. Okay, so it's interesting. She's a hex champ. Her passive is counterattacks with the default skill every time this champion loses 30% HP or more in a single turn. Always counterattacks when attacked if 2 or more allies are dead. Interesting. Not great. passive, but it could be useful in like an unkillable clan boss type team. I don't know how often she's used in those situations, but this one is interesting because you get the increase accuracy buff on yourself, and then you attack all enemies. So getting that 50% increase accuracy, and then having 100% chance of placing a hex if you get her all the way booked out is useful in a perfect veil. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely going to build her out for Faction Wars. Like I said, I need help in Skinwalkers a lot. It's not the legendary I was looking for, but I think she'll be useful. I think she will be. You don't see her used a ton, so it'll be interesting to see. I need to look her up and see like what comps she's kind of used in. But hey, first legendary, and that gets us down to our 10 pulls. So yeah, that's insane. Get a Lego on the first 6 shards. I don't even think I was that close to Mercy either. But that's the first one out of the way, where you never know. Another rear guard, or wait, the other one we had was Melga. Rear guard is different. Rear guard is also useful. She attacks one enemy, has decreased defense for 2 turns, attacks all enemies, has 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, heals this champion by 20% of the damage inflicted, and then places an ally protecting continuous heal. So that she would actually be useful too for Faction Wars if I want to build her out. I don't think I have one in my collection right now. I think I've pulled one before and might have fed her or something, so that could be useful. We'll have to see if we're gonna use that or not. Okay, next 10 pull. Come on, baby. I can't believe we got Cleopatrix right off the rip. Gosh dang. Got another duck. He's a super OP defensive base champion. He was one of the first epic champions I ever pulled, and I didn't realize how good he was until like pretty late on into my raid playing career. Like I wasn't utilizing him as well as I should have. I didn't really understand how to use him properly, but he has this amazing ability, Lunatic Outburst, that goes down to a 3-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies, has 100% chance when he's fully booked of placing a 15% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns, also has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns on each critical hit. So it's super important to have him at 100% critical rate percentage, just because you need to get that critical hit for the decreased defense. So when you have those like situational debuffs, sometimes they're not the greatest, because if you're going against like Force Infinity and you get weak hits, you don't place the decreased defense, but he does like quite a bit of damage. He's a really good champ, but that's not who we're looking for. He's great, but we don't really need him. That's the hard thing about getting like duplicate epics, is so it's like you get these epic champs and you're like, and unless it's someone that you don't have or someone that you Morgan. What? Oh, wow. Okay, well, there's another Lego, and it wasn't Val. 2 Legos, no Val. What is going on? Okay, I don't know a lot about her either. She is a somewhat newer champion. Okay, her A1 attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing decreased speed. So that goes up to a 70% chance of placing 30% decreased speed. Interesting. Has a 75% chance of stealing all buffs from a target enemy. Okay, that could be useful. Also has a 75% chance of placing a True Fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Will place a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns instead if the target is a boss. Okay, so that's kind of cool that it's got this mechanic where, since most bosses, I don't think there's any bosses in the game where you can place True Fear. So instead you place decrease accuracy on them. So that's all right. That's not, it's not an insane ability, but she has a 100% chance of each of these proccing, but having someone else to place True Fears, and then also having this turn meter control could help us out a ton. So we'll see. I'll probably use her, but either way, hey, there's another Lego. Okay, let's keep it going. Wait, what are we at? We got 80 left. Oof, 80. So in our first like 40 or something, we hit 2 Legos. Birangiri, okay, he's interesting. I know he can be used in some interesting content, and I think I have like a blessing for him. I don't know how high the blessing is, but I've been keeping him around because I remember seeing that he could like solo certain content or something. And stun is so useful in the game, as everybody knows. And then his auras increase ally res in all battles by 40, which isn't bad either. We got a couple more. Come on, baby. Oh, come on. Necro Hunter, no. Fenchi and Necro Hunter are not great, but yeah, just not it. Mr. Necro, not it. Getting a lot of blues though. Mistrider Diethy, Claude Beastfeeder. All right. I haven't built him out. I haven't used him a lot, but he seems interesting. He has a 50% chance or 60% chance of removing one random buff from the target. And also has a 10%. Okay, so he's the one that gets all these like potential for an extra turn, right? Yeah. Okay, so he would start with this, places a 50% increased attack buff and 50% increased accuracy buff on this champion for 3 turns, then grants an extra turn. Then he could go into this, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing, 75% books up to 100% chance of placing, 60% decreased defense, debuff for 2 turns, grants an extra turn if the decreased defense debuff is placed on all enemies by this skill. So you just build him with a lot of accuracy, and yeah, so essentially he could just go extra turn, go into this, hit him, extra turn, go into this, hit him, extra turn, and then cycle back through in theory, right? Because oh no, that's at a 4-turn cooldown. If one of them was on a 3-turn cooldown, then he could just keep going through it. But I don't know if this will grant him an extra turn. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. But either way, he could essentially get 3 turns in a row before or 4 turns. Yeah, because he has a 10-20% chance of getting an extra turn. So it's not amazing, but it's interesting. I think there's some comps that I've heard of that he could be cool in. But let's keep him going until I need to make space. I don't know if I'm gonna have to make space. Oh, come on. Please, world. Oh, come on. Just a Geo. Geo's all I really want. Okay, we need to make some space. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to clear some space, but now we're ready to hit our last 20. We've gotten 2 legendaries, which isn't bad for the amount of shards that I've pulled. It's actually pretty crazy odd. But unfortunately, we didn't hit Val yet, and I'm just hoping, please, to the raid Shadow Legend RNGesus, please send me a Geomancer. That's all I want for, I was gonna say Christmas, but yeah, that doesn't make sense. Come on, baby. Oh, it's gonna be all blues, isn't it? It's gonna be all blues. Ugh, yuck, all blues. Okay, last 10. Come on, baby. Come on. Not Mass Fearmonger. We don't need him. No, come on. We don't need Anchorite either. No. Oh man. Come on now, baby. Okay, well, that's it. I don't know. Should I re-up on some shards? We might. Okay, guys, we're back again. I got 20 more. We're just gonna hope for something. I don't know. I'm not trying to break the bank or spend a ton today after already spending a little bit. So yeah, we got 20 more. Let's see what we can get. Hope for something great. Hope for some miracles. But like I said, we already had 2 Legos in this this video out of like whatever 140. Oh, come on, Fang Cleric. No. Out of like 140 ancient shards, so it's really not bad odds whatsoever. But I'm still hoping, because 10x, we all know 10x is whatever it is. And the only reason I'm pulling is because this is a 10x champ that I want. And on top of that, I'm hoping for a Geo. And I don't know why it's impossible well, not impossible. Never say impossible. My last 10, he's coming. He's coming home. Okay, let's hop back in there and hope that it didn't pull the 10 shards without my consent. I clicked on it, but it just started loading, and it was a really weird time for that to happen too. So, oh gosh, trying to sell me oh, it did pull him. That's all, folks. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below any of the champions that you were looking for, or if you happened to pull Valkyrie, if you had better luck than I did, at least with the Valkyrie pulls. I'm excited to hear what you guys had. And let me know if any of these champions, like if you guys have advice on where I could use these new Legos that I got, that'd be great, because like I said, I'm not very informed on where to use these specific champions. So if you guys have any advice or anywhere that you've seen that they really shine, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, either way, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and peace. Check, my ass can't cash. Stashing billies in a bank.